As my heir, William now assumes the Scottish titles, which have meant so much to me. He succeeds me as Duke of Cornwall and takes on the responsibilities for the Duchy of Cornwall.
Buckingham Palace is burning, not from fire, but from a secret so catastrophic it threatens to shatter the 1,000-year-old British monarchy forever. For decades, we've been told the royal family is bound by tradition, duty, and a strict set of public protocols. But behind the gilded doors and the heavily guarded walls of the crown's most private vaults, a massive deception has been taking place. King Charles III, a man who spent 70 years waiting in the shadows, has not just been quietly ruling. He has been secretly hoarding an empire of wealth that makes the GDP of small nations look like pocket change. And now, the unimaginable has happened. A leaked document smuggled out of a top-tier London law firm by a disillusioned palace insider has just hit the internet. It is the king's secret last will and testament, a document that royal experts swore didn't exist in any conventional form because monarchs supposedly leave everything to the state. They were wrong. Dead wrong. This isn't just a list of who gets the family silver. This is a blueprint of power, betrayal, and billions, yes, billions, of dollars hidden in offshore accounts, private estates, and secret trust funds. And the fallout? It is already tearing the royal family apart at the seams. Prince William is reportedly shaking with rage. Queen Camilla is scrambling to secure her fortress. But halfway across the world in their sun-drenched mansion in Montecito, California, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are staring at their screens in absolute disbelief. Did they get cut off completely? Did King Charles leave them a symbolic pittance as a final cruel insult? Or is there a deeper, more sinister clause hidden in the fine print of this will that could strip them of the one thing they value most? The royal fairy tale is dead. The era of royal survival has begun. Before we dive into the explos, I have details of who gets what. You need to understand the sheer mind-bending scale of the wealth we are talking about. When Queen Elizabeth II passed away, the public was fed a carefully curated narrative. We were told the king was inheriting a few private estates, some horses, and a famous stamp collection. A cute, relatable inheritance, right? Wrong. King Charles didn't just inherit his mother's legacy. He unlocked a financial black box that has been accumulating wealth for centuries, completely tax-free. Let's start with the Duchy of Lancaster. This isn't just a farm in the countryside. It is a sprawling 45,000-acre real estate empire that generates tens of millions of dollars in profit every single year. And because of a bizarre, ancient royal loophole, all of that profit goes straight into the king's personal bank account, tax-free. Then, there are the private estates. Balmoral Castle in Scotland, valued at over $100 million, Sandringham in Norfolk, another $80 million. These are not public properties. They are privately owned by the Windsor family. But that's just the real estate. What about the art, the jewels? The royal collection holds over 1 million objects, including priceless Fabergé eggs, original Da Vinci sketches, and crown jewels that are literally uninsurable because their value is beyond calculation. And let's talk about the offshore accounts. Investigative journalists have previously traced shell companies in the Cayman Islands and Bermuda linked to the royal estates, holding vast portfolios of commercial real estate across the UK. When you add it all up, the liquid cash, the private lands, the untaxed revenues, the private jewelry collections, and the offshore trusts, we are not looking at millions. We are looking at an estimated $4 billion to $5 billion personal fortune. This is the money King Charles has absolute control over. No. To the Crown Estate, which belongs to the government. This is his money. And with his secret will now exposed, we finally know exactly how he plans to distribute this staggering empire. The question is, who made the cut? And who is about to be erased from royal history? How does a secret this massive escape the most secure palace walls in the world? It wasn't a hacker, it wasn't a foreign spy, it was someone on the inside. A senior legal aide who had spent decades drafting the intricate web of trusts that protect the royal family's wealth. According to Palace Whispers, this aide grew disgusted with the hypocrisy. They watched King Charles publicly preach about climate change and poverty, while privately shuffling billions into tax-exempt trusts for his favorite family members. The document wasn't just left on a park bench. It was a highly encrypted digital file, sent to an anonymous investigative journalist in the dead of night. But it didn't just contain the will. It contained audio recordings. Recordings of Charles discussing his true feelings about his own family. The institution must survive no matter the casualties. They will understand or they will be forgotten. When the will was analyzed, legal experts were stunned. Royal wills are historically sealed in a secret London court, locked away from the public eye forever to protect the dignity of the monarch. But Charles, paranoid about his legacy, drafted a parallel secret will, a document that bypasses the traditional state handover and distributes his massive private wealth with ruthless precision. The clauses in this document read like a suspense thriller. There are conditions, there are trapdoors, there are payouts that are designed not as gifts, but as shackles to keep his family in line. And the first name on the list, the woman who stood by his side through the darkest scandals of his life. Let's talk about Queen Camilla. For years, the British public refused to accept her. She was the villain of the Charles and Diana story, the third person in the marriage. But Chitam. Arle, in his ultimate act of defiance, made her queen, and now he has made sure she will be the wealthiest woman in England if he precedes her in death. According to the leaked will, Camilla doesn't just get a widow's pension, she gets the keys to the kingdom. King Charles has bequeathed to her outright the entire private revenue stream of the Balmoral estate. That's right, the beloved Scottish castle where Princess Diana used to walk alone in the rain. The very grounds where Charles and Camilla conducted their affair now belong entirely to Camilla. But it gets bigger. The will specifies a one-time tax-free cash payout of $150 million, transferred directly into a private Swiss bank account that cannot be touched by the British government or the Prince of Wales. Why? Because Charles knows his son William. He knows William's allegiance to his mother, Diana. Charles is terrified that the moment he dies, William will try to strip Camilla of her status, her funding, and her home. This clause is a nuclear deterrent. By locking the funds in a secret, irrevocable trust, Charles has guaranteed that even if William tries to banish Camilla, she will walk away a billionaire. The public reaction? Absolute outrage. Social media is already exploding with hashtags calling it a betrayal of Diana's memory. How could Charles take the jewels and the lands meant for the future of the monarchy and hand them to the woman who caused the worst royal crisis in modern history? But Camilla's fortune is just the beginning, because the real power, the true billions, are being handed to a man who might not be ready for the crushing weight of the crown. Prince William and Princess Kate are the pillars of the future monarchy. They are the saviors of the Windsor dynasty, and in King Charles's secret will, they are rewarded handsomely, but with a catch that makes this less of a gift and more of a golden cage. William is named the primary beneficiary of the Duchy of Lancaster. The entire multi-billion-dollar private estate, with all its commercial real estate, mining rights, and agricultural lands, transfers directly to him. He will instantly become one of the richest men in the world. But here is the shocking condition. The leaked document contains a strict duty clause. If William steps down, abdicates, or fails to perform his royal duties to a standard set by a board of royal trustees, he loses it all. The estate doesn't pass to Kate, it doesn't pass to his children. It reverts to a trust controlled by the British government, effectively ending the royal family's private wealth stream forever. Charles is a man obsessed with duty. He waited 70 years to be king, and he is terrified that the modern generation will crack under the pressure. He has essentially put a financial gun to William's head. You will work, you will smile, you will wave, or you will be penniless royals living on state handouts. And what about Kate? The Princess of Wales has been granted the personal jewelry collection of the late Queen Elizabeth, not the crown jewels, which belong to the state, but the Queen's private diamonds, sapphires, and pearls. We are talking about pieces worth over $200 million. But Kate's inheritance comes with its own dark shadow. The will explicitly states that if William predeceases her and Prince George is not yet of age, Kate becomes the regent, but she loses all financial control. The money is held by a board of trustees led by Princess Anne. Yes, the Princess Royal, the silent enforcer, which brings us to the most overlooked yet staggering beneficiaries in this entire document. While the world has been obsessing over Harry, Meghan, William, and Kate, two royals have been quietly working in the background, never complaining, never explaining. Princess Anne and Prince Edward. And in King Charles's secret will, their loyalty is paid off in a massive, secret way. King Charles knows that the monarchy survives not on the backs of the glamorous, but on the shoulders of the workers. Princess Anne, often dubbed the hardest-working royal, has been secretly bequeathed Gatcombe Park, her sprawling estate, completely free of inheritance tax. But on top of that, she receives a $50 million liquid cash fund, disguised as a historical preservation trust. Her job? To use that money to manage the private estates and keep the rest of the family in line. She is the warden of the Windsor fortune. If William steps out of line, Anne has the financial leverage to pull the rug out from under him. She is the executor of the duty clause. She holds the axe. Prince Edward, the quiet youngest brother, hasn't been forgotten either. Remember when Edward was mocked for years as the royal who couldn't hack it in the military or the business world? Charles has handed him the title and the private funding of the Duke of Edinburgh, along with a secret $30 million trust fund for his children, Lady Louise and James, Earl of Wessex. This money is locked away where the public can't touch it, ensuring Edward's side of the family lives in billionaire luxury forever, far away from the prying eyes of the tabloids. Anne and Edward kept their mouths shut. They did the work, and now they are holding the keys to the royal vault. But what about the one who didn't keep his mouth shut? What about the one who left, wrote a tell-all book, and aired the family's dirty laundry to the world? It's time to look at the ultimate betrayal. We are about to get to the most explosive, heartbreaking, and dramatic part of this entire leak. What did Prince Harry get? But before we reveal the exact humiliating sum left to the Duke of Sussex, we need you in this with us. This is the biggest royal scandal of the century, and the fallout is happening right now. If you think Prince Harry deserves a massive chunk of this billions-dollar fortune, hit the subscribe button and drop a 1 in the comments right now. But if you think King Charles did the right thing by securing the wealth for the working royals, hit subscribe and drop a 2. We need to know where you stand because the royal family is reading the room. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss the next massive leak. We are just getting started. Now, back to the drama. When Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties in 2020, they famously claimed they wanted to become financially independent. They signed deals with Netflix and Spotify. They built a life in America. But deep down, Harry always believed he had a safety net. He was born a prince. He was the son of the king. No matter how bad it got, he thought the billions would always have a place for him. He was dead wrong. According to the leaked will, King Charles has executed the ultimate act of royal revenge. Harry's name appears exactly once in the 40-page document, not in the section for the estates, not in the section for the private trusts. His name appears in a small final addendum titled Token Discharge of Familial Obligation. King Charles has left Prince Harry exactly $1. No, not $1 million, one single dollar. And he didn't leave it as a cash transfer. The will stipulates that a single silver dollar coin, minted in the year of Harry's birth, is to be hand-delivered to him by the king's private secretary. It is the ultimate insult. A symbolic gesture that screams, "You wanted to be independent? Here is your independence. Don't come back." But the humiliation doesn't stop at the money. The will contains a legal mechanism known as a non-monetization clause. This clause states that because Harry has forfeited his role as a working royal, any commercial use of his royal titles, his likeness in conjunction with the crown, or his lineage for financial gain will result in immediate legal action from the king's estate. In plain English, King Charles has legally threatened to sue his own son if Harry tries to use his royal blood to make another dime. When the news broke, sources close to the Montecito camp reported that Meghan Markle was furious. She allegedly paced the halls of their mansion, realizing that the ultimate leverage they thought they had, the threat of revealing more royal secrets, was now useless. You can't blackmail a man who has already legally disinherited you in writing. Harry, reportedly, was just silent, staring out the window, the final severing of the tie. The door to the billions wasn't just closed, it was welded shut. But as devastating as this is for Harry, it's not the most shocking part of the will, because buried in the final pages of the leaked document, hidden beneath layers of legal jargon, is a twist so profound it changes the line of succession forever. You didn't think the royal family would just hand over billions without a trapdoor, did you? King Charles is many things, but he is not naive. He knows that the modern world is turning against the monarchy. He knows that public support is fragile. And he knows that his own family is fractured. So he inserted the hidden clause. On page 34 of the leaked will, there is a provision for a secret trust fund, a fund holding over $500 million in liquid assets stored in a bank in the Isle of Man. But who is the beneficiary? It's not William, it's not Camilla, it's not Harry. The beneficiary is listed simply as the future protector of the realm, born of the direct Windsor line, to be activated in the event of a total institutional collapse. What does this mean? Legal analysts who have reviewed the leak believe this is Charles's doomsday plan. He doesn't trust William to handle the pressure. He doesn't trust the British government not to eventually abolish the monarchy. This $500 Ilion is a shadow inheritance. It is designed to be accessed by Prince George, but only if the monarchy is dissolved. If the British public votes to become a republic, if the Crown estate is seized by the government, this secret offshore fund kicks in. It ensures that no matter what happens to the institution of the Crown, the direct bloodline, specifically George, will still have access to $500 million to live like a king in exile anywhere in the world. But there is a darker interpretation. The clause mentions born of the direct Windsor line. Some royal watchers are whispering that this could be a hidden provision for another royal. Could there be a secret child? A hidden heir we don't know about? It sounds like a movie, but in the world of the Windsors, the truth is always stranger than fiction. And there's one final, terrifying condition attached to this hidden fund. If any royal, past or present, publicly challenges the will in court, the fund is immediately dissolved, and the money is donated to the British Treasury. Charles has built a financial fortress that cannot be attacked. If Harry sues for his share, he destroys George's safety net. If William tries to change the rules, he triggers a financial apocalypse. It is a masterclass in control, a web of billions designed to keep the family silent, obedient, and trapped in their gilded cages forever. The leak of King Charles's secret will is not just a scandal. It is an earthquake that is still sending shockwaves through the very foundations of the British monarchy. We have a queen consort sitting on a $150 million fortune, protected by the ghost of a king. We have a future king chained by a duty clause that treats him like an employee rather than a sovereign. We have loyal siblings rewarded with millions for their silence. And we have a prince in California holding a single silver dollar, realizing he has been completely and utterly erased from $1 billion empire. And hovering over all of it, as a $500 million doomsday fund, waiting for the day the monarchy finally falls. The fairy tale is over. The magic is gone. What remains is a cold, calculated, and ruthless corporate empire, disguised as a tradition. King Charles has proven that in the Game of Thrones, you either win or you get $1 and a one-way ticket to Montecito. The royal family will never be the same. The lines have been drawn, the money has been allocated, and the silence has been bought. But what do you think? Do you think King Charles did the right thing by cutting Harry off completely and securing the wealth for the working royals? Or do you think Harry was robbed of his birthright? And if you think there are even more secrets buried in the royal vaults, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell right now. We are just scratching the surface of the royal web of lies, and the next leak is coming sooner than you think. I'm your host, and until the next bombshell drops, stay curious and watch The Crown.